Try and get
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another session of the Weekend Warrior podcast. I'm your host,
Yes,
B-Town
sir.
Player,
Yes, sir.
with my co-host, Danny Lucio, D-Unit, in the house,
What's
and
up?
a very,
How we
very
doing?
special guest, man. Danny,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
introduce.
Well, man, I had to get the best of the best. And not only is our guest just crazy active, lives a full life 100% all the time, every day, well respected. But he's crazy into movies and classics and music. And we had asked him a couple weeks ago if he would be interested in jumping on, and right away he jumped on it. And so it's my pleasure to introduce my cousin, Eddie Lucio. What's up, Eddie? How you doing?
Hey guys, thank you so. I'm good, guys. Thank you for having me. It's exciting.
Yeah,
I'm up
yeah, yeah.
past my bedtime. It's always a goal to me, for me on Saturday to try to stay up late enough to watch Saturday Night Live. So,
It's
hell,
not easy.
I'm
It is
winning.
not easy these days.
Yeah. According to Danny's mom, I'm what Danny's gonna look like in a few years. So
Oh,
yeah, here
I
we
kind
go.
of see it, man. I kind of see it. I kind of see it.
When
That's not a
when
bad
Eddie
thing,
was
Danny. That's not a bad thing, man.
Eddie's in great shape, man.
Yeah, he is.
Eddie, are
You're in
you
great
running?
shape,
Are
man.
you running marathons right now? Are you running
Uh,
5Ks, 10Ks? What are you
I
doing right
am
now?
I am trying to figure out about it. Yeah, so I'm running, lifting, doing what
On
I
fire.
can. The
On
diet's the
fire, bro.
hardest thing, but the
Yeah,
training's all right. Yeah, we're
that's
still doing
awesome.
it.
All right, Josh, let's get
Awesome.
into
All
it.
right. Well, hey, let's go ahead and get started, man. Look, when I was excited to hear that you were gonna join us, man, and the reason for that, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and bring it out, man. I wanted to
Oh, here
wear
we
it.
go.
Danny told me to wear it. Come on, man. Here we go.
Oh my
Let's talk.
goodness.
Hey,
Let's talk about the Lakers, man. Let's talk about the Lakers right now.
power in numbers, baby. Power in numbers.
Oh
Here we
my
go.
goodness.
All right. So it feels good to have another Laker fan on the show. Usually
Uh,
I'm trying. I'm the. It's
You in
only
the
me
minority.
and yeah. There's not a lot of us
You in
here
the
in Texas,
minority.
man. So go ahead and talk about this season. Are you excited about the whole bubble thing? Did you believe in it? And what are your thoughts on LeBron winning MVP?
well, so I, for the record, I do like the Lakers, no doubt about it. But I'm a LeBron guy, and I've been a LeBron guy for 15 years, 16 years. And right after his rookie season, I was looking for someone to follow, and be committed to and loyal to, like I was Jordan back in the day, right? And I attached to LeBron before he was winning championships. I didn't know if he was going to be able to live up to that expectation, and here we are, many years later. But I later in Kobe's career became a Kobe Bryant fan. I
Yeah.
like people like I don't look, man. I don't root for the underdog, and it is what it is. I don't root for the underdog. And
Hey, man,
but hear me out.
you
Hear
heard it
me
here
out. Here's
first.
why.
You heard it here
You
first,
heard it
baby.
Yeah,
here first, baby.
yeah. Here's why. Here's why. Like, I like to see greatness. I want to
Yeah.
be able to tell my kids I saw Tom Brady play. I saw
Hmm.
Tiger Woods play.
That's right.
I like when greatness meets its expectation.
Hmm.
And when an underdog loses, no one really thinks about it. But when someone's expected to win a championship and doesn't, it's such a big letdown. And I feel more sorry for them than I do the underdog. So, and LeBron is a role model in and out of the NBA. I know he's a
Yeah.
polarizing figure, but hey, man, he
Yeah.
goes home, takes care of his family, is
Yeah.
charitable, is an entrepreneur, takes care of his
Yeah.
body, and has one of the best primes in sports. So I love LeBron. I love the Lakers.
Man.
Adding on to what you said, man, I agree 100% totally what you're saying about LeBron. Um, I was a LeBron fan right off the jump. Once they started, he came out on Sports Illustrated in high school as the chosen one, and they started airing his games on ESPN. Even when he was in high school, I would watch him. The thing about it was, and I was a fan in the beginning, but when he jumped to Miami, and then assembled. I mean, what's arguably one of the first super teams. Um, I don't know. I kind of then he became a villain in my eyes, But
And
then
then he went to LA.
then he came to LA. Then he came to LA. No, but then once that I mean everyone started doing it, and then Durant goes to Golden State, and then he's the only guy on the East that can compete with these guys. I mean, so then I started falling back into the LeBron in LeBron mode, right? And I've always been a Kobe guy, man. Always been a Kobe guy. As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
I read this. I've read it maybe 25 times, man. The Mamba mentality, man. And me as a coach, there's a lot of good points and a lot of quotes that I pull from this book, and I use it with my kids, and man, everybody buys into it, the Mamba mentality. And that's one thing that, if I had to compare the two, man, Kobe, just like Jordan, and he didn't care. He didn't want to have friends in the NBA. He was just out for blood, man. He was out just to do his job, win championships, and that's it, man. He didn't care about who he was.
There's a great book by Tim Grover that you should read. Have you heard of this? Oh man, what is it called? I'll think of it here in a minute. I'm actually gonna pull it up on my phone. But Tim Grover, Jordan's trainer, and then became Kobe's trainer. And
Wow.
he is one of the most renowned trainers for high profile athletes in all of sports. And he profiles his many years with Michael Jordan and then with Kobe Bryant. And he was actually interviewed several times during that Last Dance deal that came out during COVID about
Oh
the
yeah, yeah,
Bulls.
yeah.
I mean, incredible book. You should check it out. I'm pulling up the name here in a minute. Anyway, but if you want to use something called Relentless, Tim Grover, the name of the book is Relentless,
I'm gonna text it
and
to
he
you,
talks
Josh.
about the three different types of the three different types of and their mentality behind sports, and difference between the Michael Jordans and Kobe Bryants and basically everyone else.
Wow.
And he calls Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant cleaners. And you're an incredible athlete, Danny. You played basketball. I was in golf. Different sport. And we're talking basketball now, so you're the man. But you should check out that book. I promise you, it's a good read or a good
Absolutely.
audio book.
Appreciate that.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that out, because, as a matter of fact, James' trainer is actually a Valley body. I'm not too sure
That's
where
right.
from, but I know
Brownsville, Texas, baby.
Brownsville, right? Was it Brownsville?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I actually worked. One of my coworkers, when I was coaching high school football at Lopez, he said that he actually went to school with the trainer. And he went from Cleveland to Miami, and now he's in LA over there. He's been with LeBron the whole career, man.
So what does
That is
that tell
crazy.
you about LeBron? I know Danny's not a LeBron fan, so I have to really just rub it in. What does that tell you about LeBron? The man is loyal, right? Took a
Oh man.
Hispanic kid from no-name South Texas, kept him his whole career. Where I go, you go. It's pretty awesome.
That's
Pretty cool, man.
it is, man.
You're trying to win me over. I'm and I know LeBron's a big Dallas Cowboy fan. How you feel about that, Josh?
I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm on a high still, guys.
Oh shoot!
And
Here we go. What you
hey,
got now?
we're gonna hold up the Raiders, baby. We took down the Chiefs this past week. Come on,
You
man.
on fire?
I'm on fire, man. Hey, you said
you
you
had
were.
a great week. You had a great week, bro.
Hey, I did have a great week, and hey, now we're not done, guys.
Here we go. What do you got now?
Done, man.
Don't show
We're not
Ronnie.
done, man. We're not done.
Oh,
We're going to Game 7, guys. We're going to Game 7.
The Dodgers pulled it off
I'm telling you,
Unbelievable.
man. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
don't be
You
fooled
should.
by this Golden State stuff here. This is my son's room, so
Yeah.
he's the Golden State. All right, don't be fooled, man. I'm a Laker. I'm a Laker all the way.
Oh man.
Awesome.
Um.
Well, here's one thing. What did you think about what was it, Game 5, where LeBron, he's driving in, last play of the game. He drives in, he draws in three, and then he kicks out to Danny Green. Danny Green misses a shot. They lose.
Look, it's gonna happen, right? It's gonna happen. There were people so hard on Danny Green, man. He got death threats. That's ridiculous. It's a game. With
Yeah.
everything happening in the world today, everything we've experienced, losing loved ones, business being turned upside down,
Yeah.
social unrest, for us to get that caught up, all when it's all said and done, it's a game. And I'm glad he had a
Yeah.
fantastic game 6. And look, that in my opinion, I want LeBron to take that shot or AD to take that shot. But you can't put it in Danny Green's hands and then get upset that he missed the shot.
Yeah,
That's not his role. That's not his role.
that's where I was
And I
going
think
with it.
Yeah.
That's where I was going with it.
Yeah.
Um, let
and
me
I
ask you
think
this:
LeBron lived up to that.
Do
He
you,
lived up to that.
do you think Kobe passes that shot?
No way in hell. No way in hell Kobe passes that shot. I mean,
Bro,
Oh man.
but Michael did, right? I mean, how many Steve Kerr, John
Steve Kerr,
Paxson
John
moments were
Paxson.
there, right? Uh,
Yeah.
so, but very different players. Kobe doesn't come anywhere near LeBron in terms of uh, running the point, right, and being an
Yeah.
assist leader.
Facilitating,
So
facilitating.
they're different players, but
Mm.
I become a big AD fan, man. Not just because he's with the Lakers, but I just hadn't had an opportunity to see him play so intimately like I have this year. And what a great guy. What a. I mean, but look, I not because he's my cousin, but I love Golden State. I really do. I love Steph Curry. I
Yeah.
love Draymond. They're great to watch. They're so entertaining. So yeah, I'm all right. I will say I'm not a Spurs fan though. I'm not a Spurs
Neither am I, baby.
Oh
You know
man.
what? I like
fan,
where this is going.
but I'm a Dallas guy. I do like the
Hey,
Mavericks.
you are getting Josh
Yeah,
all excited
Hey,
over there,
hey,
man. Oh
I,
my god. You didn't
you are
realize how
getting
much fun
excited.
you're gonna have, bro.
I did not, man. I'm having
yeah.
a blasty blast. And so far, this has been the best show
Oh,
Well,
to date.
I,
To date,
I had a up close and
I
personal
have it.
experience with Tony Parker that really turned me off.
oh yeah.
But I love Manu. I love Manu. I was a huge Manu fan.
I,
But yeah,
I almost wore my Manu
Oof.
shirt tonight. I almost to counter you guys. I almost did, man, but I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I was just going back to that LeBron shot. I feel like Kobe pulls up from 16. Kobe pulls up from 18, and that is not LeBron's mo. He has to go to the basket. He's trying to get to the basket. He's trying to get the. I don't know what to say, but pretty much like the easiest game winner he can get. Kobe takes us a foot or two inside the 3-point line, and he just drains it. That
yeah.
to me. That's the biggest difference. Kobe would never put himself in that situation, and then he shoots over the double team, just like Jordan always used to shoot over the double team. So that's my take
But
on that shot.
but you get but LeBron's built like a tank. If Kobe
Yeah,
had
which is
those
right.
physical
He's going to his strength.
attributes,
He's going to his strength.
his game would be different. Like LeBron, LeBron's built like a tank, man. I mean, it's incredible. It's
Yeah.
incredible. I mean, you play to your strengths.
Now, one of the things that they've been saying this whole playoff run was that it was going to be an asterisk because of the whole how the season cut off and how it came back and how they were in the bubble and how some guys opted not to play and how some guys weren't 100% there, mentally. Um, I want to know it from you. I want to see get your opinion on that. I mean, what do you feel about the play of basketball there at the bubble? Would you consider this a legit championship for the Lakers?
I would say some may think it's harder. right? That it may be an asterisk as a higher bar that they had to meet because they're away from their families, they're not sleeping in their beds, they're, cut off from the world, they're uncomfortable, they're having to worry about what's happening at home and getting calls from the wife who's, I got three kids here. Well, I'm glad you have room service, but I'm here by
Yeah.
myself, and and
Yeah.
pissed off, and I've been there, right? My wife's right here, so I'm not talking trash. She's like, can hear me, right? So like some would say it was harder, but look, I truly like LeBron is my favorite athlete, or on at least top three right now, right? Because he's done it so well for so long. Like he's the type of guy who's probably already training right now, more, right? And I just want him to have success. I'm the one that gets, he misses a shot, they lose, they get beat by the Warriors a few years ago. I'm getting 10, 15 texts from different friends. So I'm just going to enjoy it. You're not going to hear me say, oh
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it was less of a win. You're going to hear
Yeah.
me say, no, it was the hardest thing ever done in sports of all time. So uh,
That's
I'm a happy guy. I check every day because I ordered my Lakers championship shirt. And my kids, you know what was cool, Danny, and you're gonna love this, man. My daughter watched probably 11 of the last playoff games with me, and like
that's awesome.
sincerely wanted Daddy's team to win.
That's
Was
awesome.
when it was awesome. I mean, when AD made that game-winning shot, she
Yeah.
went
Yeah.
nuts. It
Yeah.
was
She
great.
went
It was
nuts.
just
That's something
really,
she'll
really
remember.
cool.
That's something she'll talk about when,
Yeah,
hey, you remember
absolutely.
when we saw that shot? Yeah. It's interesting. Um, one of the podcasts I really listen to a lot is Michael Rappaport, and he's nuts, obviously. But he's a big time LeBron hater. But he went on Skip and Shannon, and he said something that kind of resonated, kind of made sense to me. And he said LeBron, and he's coming clean, right? He's like, LeBron has had the greatest NBA career ever. The the body of work that he is, the road that he's traveled. I mean, there's no who could make that story up. I mean
Yeah.
that really that's you know n- we will never see anything like that again. The longevity.
Yeah. But here's also what I'll say is we might. And
Mm,
let me tell you why. Because he's creating a blueprint.
The
He's
blueprint,
creating a
the
blueprint.
formula.
That's right. That's right.
I
Like,
don't know, man.
look, Danny, like the teams I watched in the 80s and 90s, bro, they were drinking in the locker room after every game, right?
Yeah, they were smoking cigars.
They were smoking, they were drinking. That what does LeBron do? He's like, all right, he goes and spends 4 hours in ice baths and with trainers, and
Yeah.
he
Recovery,
spends, I think, what did they
recovery.
say? Yeah, like $1 million a year on his body and just maintenance.
Did you see Jimmy Butler? That's when you knew it was over. Walk off that podium. What was it, 45 to an hour? He looked
Yeah,
like a 80-year-old man. I mean,
yeah.
these guys, they need that recovery.
Basketball's tough on your body. You may not be getting tackled, but it is
Yeah.
tough on your body, man. No
Yes,
doubt.
sir. Oh man.
All right, well, let's go ahead and move into the
Yeah.
on the next session, man. I mean, enough about the Lakers. I could go on the Lakers all day. I could talk about LeBron,
Yes.
but I don't think Danny wants to talk about them.
Let's
Um,
let's move on.
all right, there's a couple businesses you have here in town. I know Orange Theory is one. You want to talk a
Yes,
little bit
sir.
about that?
So my wife and I's company has morphed into being a multi-brand owner operator. So we started with Orange Theory. I'm a lawyer by trade, and grateful that my parents steered me in that direction and had the discipline to finish. And practicing law gave me a great foundation to business. And I greatest thing I've ever done. My superpower, if anyone ever asked me, is I married well. I married very well.
Ah, my
And,
man, my
Hey,
man.
and
hey, you just
yeah,
got 10
so
points right now, bro.
this is
Oh,
like
I like that. I like that.
I don't know, I don't know how to add all that well. I think 2 and 2 is 4 or 5, somewhere in there. I married an accountant, and she compliments me so well because I want to be out talking, selling, building relationships. business planning,
Boom,
bringing
boom,
more
boom.
brands online, and she makes sure we can afford it, right? And that we have all the financing in place. And she doesn't want to be out talking to people, at least not people she doesn't know or like already. So it works out really well. So we've added Orange Theory's great. I love fitness, but I want now the challenge of how big can I take it? How many brands can
Hmm.
I own and operate? And during COVID, when people were, and we were hit hard, our business, our industry was hit
Yeah.
really hard, and we're bouncing back. We're growing. We have a plan, but I knew that it was a time to get ahead. So while everybody was kind of, you know, circling the wagons, hoarding and not growing, I knew I needed to accelerate. So we added two new
Right.
brands to our portfolio and have now a footprint in Austin and Dallas and hopefully Houston in the real near future. So we're
H
excited.
Town will
So
be
three
there.
brands, yeah, three brands, four regions, and we'll have 55 locations in 8 years at a
Wow.
minimum. So
Wow.
Wow.
we're moving.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, just a little bit of a description of what kind of I know it involves fitness. Is it a gym, and does it have the specific
Sure.
type of training that you guys do, or I mean,
So
talk a
we,
little bit.
yeah, Orange Theory is class-based model. We wear heart rate monitors. We track your heart rate, and we base what we do in spiking your heart rate, allowing you to recover, and getting back there as much as possible. So the traditional Orange Theory model, we have cardio, which we normally do on a treadmill, and then we have weight training incorporated in every class that we do, high intensity interval training. As part of the weight room, we do have rowers, and that's a big part of our water rowers, a big part of our
Nice.
weight
Nice.
training component. And we have a calorie kind of goal. It is part of a franchise, so we have this wonderful team at corporate that develops our template. So as owners and operators, we just roll out this great product that's provided to us by our corporate office, and they're diversifying. So the traditional class was, kind of caloric burn focused, and now we have weight training only classes where we don't have cardio. We have outdoor classes, and then we have some
Hmm.
just cardio classes. Some people want to come in and they have a cheap Friday night, and they want to come in and just burn a bunch of calories. So that's our Orange Theory brand. That's what was our gateway into small business entrepreneurship. We've added a pizza brand. So I just talk about health and wellness, and now I'm talking
Yeah.
about pizza. But
Yeah. Tell us about that, man.
pizza
Is this
took.
have you gone like public with this? Or is this kind of like the first?
So this is
Have
the
you told?
first public time I talk about it.
Hey, let's
My
get
Hey,
wife kind of teased it, but
let's
yeah,
go.
hey
Weekend
man,
Warrior
I
Project.
you
Here
witnessed
hear
we
it
the
go.
granny,
first.
baby. That's
Weekend
right.
Warrior Project, baby.
Gotta hear it. Okay, man.
That's
This is
right.
what everybody's
So
been asking about this pizza thing. Let's go.
here we go. So Romeo's Pizza, it's a brand out of Ohio, right outside of Cleveland. They've been around 20 years. They really started taking off 2 years ago. We're over 50 locations, but by the end of the year, it'll be more like 75. By the end of next year, that's when we're gonna hit the accelerator. Uh, Pizza's taken off during COVID, right? So when other brands like Orange Theory are reeling back, pizza really grew. And it's through one of the founders of Orange Theory, that I met the pizza guys. And they're great, they're fantastic. It's an amazing tasting pizza. The brand started because the founder was winning pizza contests all over the country. And he had this
So you
great
know
Wow.
it's good. So you know
tasting
it's good.
pizza. Yeah, that's right. So but he wasn't a businessman. And it wasn't until he sold 4 years ago that the new owners took a pause, rebranded, restructured all the processes and procedures, and launched it. And now, 2 years ago, it really started to gain traction. So that's that brand. And then the third brand we own is called VO Med Spa. So
Nice.
another injury, entire kind of age and beauty management, and So more along the lines of Orange Theory, but here's what I got. I'm gonna Danny Lucio this, right? So
Okay,
Go
here we
ahead.
go.
Go
there's
ahead,
this
man.
machine, Danny,
See
and
what
it's
you got.
called M Sculpted, right? And you put this paddle on your stomach, and it gives you these forced contractions. So it's like doing 30,000 sit-ups in 30 minutes
I've read about
without
that.
being sore.
I
So
read
if you
about
get
that.
on this and you do it regularly, man, yeah. So here's my
Uh,
thought. If I can put
my
that
birthday
paddle on
just
someone,
passed.
put them on a treadmill. That's right. Put that paddle doing those sit-ups. Put them on a treadmill and eat pizza. It all balances out, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's the holy trifecta.
Oh my
Bro,
god. Hey
you
man,
sounded like
great.
Danny 100% right there. 100%.
Hey man, you
100%.
sold that good, Primo. You
I'm
sold that
sold, man.
good.
I'm
I
sold.
love it. I love
Hey,
it.
I'm ready to sign up for Orange Theory right now. Eat a pizza,
Huh.
go to the spa, and then go back to Orange Theory on Monday morning.
Let's do this. I got
I'm
you.
Let's
ready.
go, man.
All right,
I
guys, and
got
those of you
you.
that are watching at home, Orange Theory, the location in Brownsville, 3230 Pablo Casell, here in Brownsville, Texas. Correct?
There you go. Orange Theory.
Oh, there
That's
you
our
go.
logo
There you
right
go.
there.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Come on by. First
I like
class is on me.
Ooh, I'll
Ooh,
be there.
Eddie.
I
Ooh,
will
let's
be there.
go.
All right,
Put him to
man. So
work, man.
without further ado, guys, I think Danny's trying to prolong this. He didn't want to get into the horror movies, but we're gonna have to do it, man.
Bro,
We're gonna have
bro.
to
Hey,
do it.
we need to bring our guest from last week on here. Let me see if she's
Oh
ready.
my gosh, I can't wait to see her.
All right. So while you guys are doing
Um,
that, all right. Um,
let me send the invite.
let
I'm gonna
me
check in
ask
on
you.
the after game.
Yeah, you'll go for a check on the game before we get into that, and while we get our next guest on, what would you consider, Eddie, the scariest horror movie you've ever seen, man? What's
So
the number one?
look, man, that's a complicated question, brother. Like that's like going right in for the kiss, bro. Like, oh my gosh, like take me on a date first, buy me
Hey,
a meal,
hey,
chill. You just go straight in for the kiss.
sometimes you gotta
Hold
do it,
up,
man.
back up a second. Dang, ow.
Oh
Okay, so
shoot!
look, I travel a lot. My
Take me
wife
to
and I
dinner.
drive. Is that Erica? Hold
Oh,
on.
there she
What?
is.
Hey,
Hey,
Hi,
she's
We
back.
finally have some
Batman and
beauty on
Batman.
the show.
Batman and
Batman and Batman.
Batman.
That's
Eddie, I don't know
Erica.
if you got a chance to see last week's show, but
Hi, guys.
I was talking. Oh, there's Jamie.
This is my roommate,
I was
Susan. Hello.
welcome, welcome, welcome. We were talking last week about how great of a duo Erica's roommate Susan is. Susan, Eddie, Susan. Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi.
Hello.
and Josh says, yeah, just like Batman and Robin. And then they come on and say, correction, it's Batman and Batman. So that's the
That's
hashtag
right.
right now. Batman
Don't
and
be
Batman.
causing roommate problems trying to figure out who's
For
Robin.
real.
Jane.
For real. I don't need that.
So Eddie was about to answer Josh's question about spookiest, scariest
top
film.
So look, man,
film.
look, I'm gonna get professorial on you. Look,
oh
so
my god.
there are times where movies come out that change the game, whatever genre it may be, right? So like, look, there was kind of the same type of scary movie, the Nightmare on Elm Streets and Halloween's, and it was just kind of like it almost got comical, right? Like
Yes.
the later
Right.
Nightmare on Elm Streets were kind of comical, and then Scream came on.
Ooh, good
I don't know
one.
if y'all are old enough to
Yes.
remember, like Scream changed the game,
Yes.
right?
The
And
first scary
then
Yes.
movie
We
ever.
talked about.
right, and then The
We
Ring
talked about.
came on. Right, I don't know if y'all remember when The Ring
Yeah.
came out. That was like, damn, like you left the movie theater. Like, I think I took a date to see The Ring, and I remember I couldn't like watch it, and I couldn't be cool after that. Like, he walked me to my door and was like, "I'll call you later to make sure you're nice." Yeah, like so
Oh,
I mean it's complicated. Now I'll tell you the one that like messed me up where I'm like, baby, can we keep the TV on tonight? Was The Conjuring. Like The Conjuring jacked me up.
Oh.
It gave me a different perspective. I have kids, the mom went nuts and like chased the
yeah.
kids at the end, and it was just like, yeah, that messed me up a little bit. The Blair Witch Project for the first 2 weeks where everybody thought it was real, that kind of jacked me up
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, like I was telling y'all before the
Hey,
show,
that,
I'm the guy that those directors love because I get
yeah.
scared. Like I have to like keep the, yeah, man, I got to keep the blankets up because if you don't look, it's not real.
Oh my
So yeah,
gosh.
That's me. That's what I do.
That.
Every time I watch movies or anything, I go like this.
that's right. That's right. Right.
Oh my
Good answer. Good
goodness.
answer, man. All right. Well, let's get into it, man. Last week's, I don't know if you've been following along, but we've been having a challenge where everybody in the panel or everybody in the show uh, gets an opportunity to choose a horror flick, and that's the challenge for the week. So last week we actually gave four, and we had a bonus movie in case you had enough time, and we threw it in there. And the bonus movie was a classic, so the majority of the people have already seen it. But if you hadn't seen it, I mean, it's a good one. So the first one we're gonna go with, and I can't remember whose pick it was, but it was What Lies Beneath.
Me.
I was there. Yeah.
Ah,
Ooh,
One of my favorites.
all right. So let's get into it.
ooh.
As we're doing these challenges, even though I've already seen them, I like to rewatch them because now I'm paying attention to the rubric, right? Storyline, the acting, the scare factor. And we're just
Mhm.
going to go ahead and get right into it, man. I gave that movie a straight 4 down the line. Storyline was great. Actually, the storyline could have been, in between 4 and 5, but because I had to choose one, I went with great. Acting, Michelle Pfeiffer, Harrison Ford, great, bro. Great. I gave it 4.
Sheesh.
Scare factor, that shit had a bunch of jump scares, man. I was surprised when I went back to watch it because initially I told Danny, I was like, Danny, this is a horror movie, man. But then I went back and I was like, oh fuck, it's kind of man. The suspense. The suspense. So on the next category, which was gore, suspense, disturbing, that shit was suspenseful and they built it up perfectly. And you knew something was gonna happen when that little eerie music came on, man. So I gave it
That's what
a
Erika was talking
straight
about. That's
4,
right.
dude. Straight 4, man. It was a great movie.
Great movie.
I had fun watching it, man. I'm gonna go with E3's picks. He gave it a 3.2 on the rating
Yeah,
system.
but I love that movie. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And I actually saw it recently before I was going to come on this show with it was like, I think my daughter can watch it, right? Like, we have to give our kids something to talk to their therapists about. We can't just do that as parents. That would be horrible. Like they have to grow up thinking like, oh, I had it hard
Yeah.
or whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I made her watch it and she loved it. And
Are
so
you
it's a great movie. No, you gotta give them something.
She's a
How
tough
old is
kid,
she?
man.
Like
You
one?
know,
How old is she?
No.
she's
8?
11. She's not super little.
She's old enough. She's old enough.
Yeah.
She's old enough.
Erika, what were
Oh,
you
no.
doing at 11? We
Yeah.
won't talk about that, okay?
I'm pretty
Of
sure I was
course.
watching What Lies Beneath. So scary. It stayed with me until now. I'm 32 years old.
Oh, but oh man.
But here's my daughter. So I know my daughter can self-regulate because she's like, I'm not watching this. She's like her mom. She'll just leave. There's no like making her sit. I'm like, she was wanting to finish it. So it's all right. We were all right. But it's a great
Yeah,
movie. I love Michelle Pfeiffer, Scarface.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Grease
I
too.
love Michelle.
Yeah, she actually started off with Grease too because I saw an interview recently and she started off with Grease 2. They asked her, what was your breakout moment? And she said it was Scarface, which was right after Grease 2. But that she said that Al Pacino didn't want to work with her because the only thing she had on her resume was Grease 2 and going into a gangster movie. Like, so Al Pacino wasn't sold. But then when they did the screening test, I think she convinced him, which it was awesome, man. She was awesome she was awesome in that movie too. Danny, you know what? I don't think I got your score, so go ahead and you, Erica and Susan, you can go ahead and give me your ratings. Go for
So
it.
just when Erica talked about that when she brought it up last week, I was like immediate. I hadn't thought about that movie in a long time. I don't know who I watched it with. I probably watched it with Erica, um, but I'm like, there's somebody in that movie who's tricky. Like I remember, I'm like, ooh, there's an uh-oh moment where you're like, hmm, wait a second, and that was Harrison Ford's character. And when I started watching again, of course, Michelle Pfeiffer, fantastic. But when it first starts to roll, is when she starts to peek over the fence to look to see if her neighbor, the girl's okay,
Mhm.
and I'm like, oh, here we go, and just like the music was fantastic. Of course, the acting was great. The scare factor. Uh, to me, I would have scored it like you, Josh. Right at a four, maybe a high mid four, like
Yeah.
4.2, 4.3. The the part where the everlasting image I have of that movie is when he's dragging her.
Mm-mm.
And after he what is that thing that they use on the rats?
Yes, that's so important. The foreshadowing.
Yes, the
Mhm.
foreshadowing was fantastic with the scientists, whatever. And then she's trying to crawl away when well, actually, it's
Mm.
before he picks her up. She's trying to crawl, and little by little, her body is starting to like succumb to this drug.
Paralyzed.
That is I'm like, your whole body. You're like, just go, go,
The
go.
worst.
Oh, and she did so well just sitting in that tub, like the sitting in the
Dude, it's kind of
I,
hard to see Harrison Ford as a villain, man, because you see him in Star Wars and you love him, and then you see him in Indiana Jones and you love him, and then
Yeah, yeah.
to see him as a villain, I was like, no, dude, no,
The
Yeah.
greats,
you
the
know.
greats, but the greats do it so well. Denzel Washington did the same thing in Training Day. Who's the other one? I just had his name right now. There's a couple of stars that come out like
What was
that.
his
Oh,
name?
Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis
Bruce
does.
Willis, and the gladiator. Oh no, not the gladiator.
Oh yeah.
The other guy, the one that comes out with Jamie Foxx, where he's the villain. I'll get
Oh,
his name.
Tom Cruise.
Gerard Butler.
Tom Cruise.
Gerard Butler. Gerard Butler.
Yes,
Oh.
Gerard.
Yeah, Gerard Butler.
Yeah.
So every now and then you get a special actor that you're used to rooting for, the hero, and they just kill you, man. And I'm like, and that was that feeling that I remembered from that movie.
Let's get Susan's take on it. What did she think about it?
Hey, let's go, Susan.
It was good. I really enjoyed it. I thought that it had like the right amount of scare. The storyline was really good. Like it wasn't something that would like make me think about like tomorrow. Like it wouldn't scare me tomorrow. It's something that was just like suspenseful, like for like the moment, and it was really good. And I really enjoyed it. Like when I rewatched it again, like there's a couple of things that I had forgotten, like the lock and key, and like when she turned into that girl and she was like pretending to
Oh
be
yeah.
the other chick, and I was like,
Yes.
go
Yes.
away. And then when they were playing with the Ouija board, I was like, nope, turn it off, turn it off. It was really good. I really enjoyed the movie.
Yes,
Actually,
great,
I'm gonna
great
buy it.
pick, great pick. In the beginning, I was like, horror, but then I rewatched it and I was like, yes, great
Yeah,
pick,
Good job,
great
man.
pick.
just enough. It was good.
We
Same, Eric.
we started watching it, and right when they put her in the tub, we watched that whole scene, and then I was like, so you want to rewind it and see if we can hold our breath that long?
Oh,
We did, and we both died.
I was
There's
like,
no
oh,
way.
we died.
She held her breath for a super long time. But
Damn.
at the end, when she was holding her breath in the lake or in the river, I was able to survive. She died.
Damn. Hey, that's a
cool.
good challenge.
That's
That's
cool.
a good challenge.
Like I would never think to do
Good
this.
challenge.
That's super cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's an awesome challenge, man.
Oh
Oh, I
man,
had
that
to
is
know,
hilarious.
like, if it was possible. Like, if you're at the end of your rope, could you do it? Like,
I think though once the adrenaline kicks in, you get a little bit more time
yeah.
added on. I think. I mean,
True.
I would imagine. I don't ever want to
For
find
me, it
out,
would
but
be
I would imagine.
Right?
And I'm with Susan on that. I didn't realize that she was being possessed by the other girl. Like, I had watched it so long ago and I hadn't realized that, you know, and as soon as she let go of that braid, she was back to being herself. That was crazy.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
how cool is it that the girl saves her in the end, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a great
Yes.
kind of twist
Yeah.
at the end.
Absolutely.
That I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was
Yeah.
awesome. And that goes back to like when I'm rating them in the storyline. You know, that's why it could be in between a 4 and 5 because I mean the whole, you know, how the tables turn and everything, and she actually saves her at the end. That's crazy. But great pick.
Yeah.
I'm excited for next week's challenge. All right. Let's jump into the next one. The next one was The Sixth Sense. 1990 came out in 1999.
Still scares me.
Yeah, we picked some oldies, didn't we?
Yeah.
The music
Like-
is successful, man. So scary.
So we'll start off with E3 because I have his ratings here, and you actually gave it a 4.4.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a classic, right? I mean, all his movies since then have not been great. Some entertaining, but not been great. But that movie was so awesome that he kind of has a hall pass for the rest of his career, right? Like that's how awesome that movie was. Yeah, like you don't see that ending, and if anyone says, "Oh, I predicted it," they're lying. They're lying. You don't know that he's a ghost. Like it's impossible.
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest reveals in cinema ever.
Yes.
It's a real, and then the New Kids on the Block guy. Like no one knew that was Donnie Wahlberg.
Donnie
That's
Wahlberg,
incredible.
yeah.
Like,
I think
I'm
this
an 80s
movie.
kid.
I think this movie falls into that category you were saying, Eddie, about the Game Changers. I think this was one when it came out. This one was a game changer?
Yes.
Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was spooked by it, and then, like you say, the at the end, it was just like wow, crazy.
Great flick. Very well made. It was more than just a horror movie where you just want to house laid out, and then the big reveal at the end. Great movie to have on that list. And I'm a Bruce Willis fan. I'm a diehard guy, so that just helps it even more.
Yippee ki Yeah, Danny, what was your take on this, man?
Oh man, I don't think I had seen this movie in its entirety, and then when I went back to see it, is a lot along the lines of what Ed was saying. Was like I hadn't seen it. Nobody had really seen anything quite like this. And with the little kid, man. Oh my god,
Still
just
Haley Joel Osment, man.
Great actor.
Yep.
I hold my breath. I just hold my breath with that character, man. The storyline, the music, I felt like you could feel it. Something about the music at that time, during those times. Was this like a 98?
1999. 99.
Now I gotta check.
99.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I'm just drawn to the sounds from that time in the 90s. That's when that's when I was like really started watching a lot of movies and enjoying them, and movies like Braveheart, and watching those movies with that intent, like that type of music. But yeah, it still spooks. It still spooked me because of course, I hadn't seen it in its entirety.
This director, I mean, the tone in all the movies are pretty similar, right? In the director's, I think he's the one that came out with Glass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All those new movies, right?
So
What was
like
it?
that,
Click?
those aren't horrible, right? They're not horrible movies. They're just not like Academy Award winning type of stuff like The Sixth Sense was. And here's an interesting thing: not a lot of scary movies are quotable, right? I see dead people. How
Right.
many times do we use
Everybody.
that,
Eh,
or some spin off that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so true.
So
That is so
That
true.
yeah, so I mean, it's a quotable scary movie. Not a lot of people quote scary movies.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's interesting.
Danny, I don't know if you caught this, but the female lead on there, Toni Collette, is the same one
Yes.
from Hereditary. Did you
Yes.
catch that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yay.
yeah.
As
Well,
soon
I
as
did.
you
I
walked
Yeah.
in, I said it.
Yeah, man.
only
So
because I had just seen the movie. Oh
yeah.
man, and that. Oh my gosh.
Hey, but
Yes.
out of you had Bruce Willis, who's already a major presence in Hollywood at this time, and
Yeah.
then you have Toni Collette. Um, but the lead to me was his kid, man, the Haley Joel Osment, man. Just he was just you're always gonna remember that one scene, like E3 was saying. I see the most quoted probably horror movie up to date.
Yeah.
All
Stud. The
right,
kid's a stud.
oh, Susan, what's your take on this? Was
Uh,
this your pick? Was this your
yeah,
pick?
this is my pick.
Awesome,
It's pretty
awesome.
good. I was just telling Erica before we came on that like I could quote this movie from the beginning to end. Like I love this movie, and like this was the first scary movie that I saw when I was like what 1999. I was how old was I? How old are we?
12.
12. So I was 12, and I went and saw this with my
That was
brother.
around the age. That's around the age of your daughter, man. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah, I went.
That's right. See, I'm not a horrible parent.
Yeah, and it did. Like it like
Scarred.
everything that happened in this movie, like the part where like
Erica came out fine.
and like the cold breathing and like it like just scared me like completely all the way through. And sometimes I still sleep with my light on and I'm scared. And sometimes I'm thinking that something's under my bed. Like this movie brought all my scary senses to life. Like
There's
it was-
definitely stuff under your bed. Just
oh
sleep tight.
my god.
just throwing that out there. Throwing that out there.
No, but like, yeah, it was such a good movie. Like you guys are saying, like the big twist at the end. Like, what a great story. So
Yeah.
it was,
I gave it a 4.4. E3 gave it a 4.4. Danny, I didn't know what you gave it.
Because we didn't do our homework. Yeah.
sorry.
You're late.
4.6.
So 4.6. Okay, 4.6.
4.6.
All right. So Susan, what would be your score? I don't think Danny sent you guys the link before you hopped on, but you go ahead. And,
I forgot.
Yes, I did.
No, I gave this movie a 5.
5 straight
I
down.
love this
Wow.
movie.
5.
She gave it a
That's-
5 and then
Everything.
said she wanted
That's
to
like a
finish it.
perfect movie. That's
It
like
was.
a perfect
It is.
movie.
It's a great movie.
Is there such thing?
Yes.
To
This one?
Susan.
Okay. All right.
There is now.
What's your take,
Okay,
Erica? What's your take on
4.9.
this?
There you go.
I agree. I think it was one of those first of its kind. You never forget, like the look on the kid's face when he says that he sees dead people. You just expect from like to look at his face and then to pan out and the room is literally full of dead people. That's what I expect. I mean, that's what I thought would be there. And maybe I should have directed it. No, I'm kidding. But it's with M. Night Shyamalan, because he likes to give himself parts in his movies as well. I was like, look, he's there, director.
You spotted him.
Yeah. The doctor.
Yeah.
I don't know, anything with kids and ghosts scares the crap out of me for sure, because kids can see things that adults can't anymore, and I think it's totally believable. And I don't know, people have imaginary friends all the time. Who's to say they're not ghosts?
That's what they say, man. That's what they say, man. That the kids have really the sixth sense.
Just jack me up tonight.
Good luck
Be
going to
like,
sleep.
Son,
my guy.
don't you be playing. So here's what I tell my kids. I said, if a man comes in the house, daddy's going to step up. I'm going to step up. I'm going to come to your rescue. If a ghost comes into your house, your ass is on your own. Like I am not afraid of ghosts. Like everybody.
I ain't
That's
afraid
fair.
of no
I can't do
ghosts.
anything no
Yeah.
ghosts.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair to
right.
say.
Like, hey, we had a good run. We had a good run, kids. You know, it's all good.
You don't have like a
I
bottle
love
of
it.
holy water to start throwing. You need to keep one
Oh
at the entrance of every kid's room.
Love it. I love it.
Super
You need to keep
I
one
got
in the entrance of your
crosses.
apartment.
Yes.
Oh
I
my
burn
gosh.
Uncle Bob's dream
house.
catcher. You don't have an Uncle Bob dream catcher?
We gotta get him
No,
one.
I
We got
don't
one
have
in each
Kristen has one.
room.
I have one.
Those are creepy.
She knows. She's good to go.
'Cause they came out. They come out in every horror movie. They come out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right,
That's
let's jump into the next flick, man. The next one, and I think Danny had given up his pick, right? And we're gonna go with Bird Box. I think
was Eddie's pick,
Eddie,
isn't
this
it?
is your pick. Was it your pick?
Yeah,
That was my
that's
pick.
Eddie's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because it's the most recent new scary movie I've seen. And it's not that new, but new for me. Yeah.
So you actually it actually gets a you gave it a 4. Give it a 4.
Yeah.
You gave it a 4.
Yeah.
You said the storyline was amazing and everything else was 4 down the line, but then the scare factor you said was decent. So when you average it out, it's great. It's great.
So I never had to cover my eyes, right? I never had to cover my eyes.
Like they do in the
You have
movie.
to-
Maybe I didn't understand like the gore scare factor, but
Yeah.
and it was something like Susan said, I just went to sleep. I didn't worry about it. There's movies where I'm like taking a shower and I'm like, I gotta shampoo my hair with my eyes open. 'Cause I like close my eyes. And
Why
I know
are
it
your eyes
burns,
so
and
red?
that's cool.
Why-
I can deal with the burn.
I can't do that.
That's
I
how-
can't do that.
That's
man.
how brown people die.
Oh
Yes.
my
After a
God.
scary movie, and I ain't going out like that. So, but yeah, so Bird Box, I thought Bird Box impacted me because I got kids, right? And there was something about that movie and the kids, and just a different element, right? Like you cannot open your eyes. You can't make a sound. The Quiet Place was kind of like that too, and I can't shut up, obviously. So I'd be dead in that movie in like 2 seconds. So like,
I think all the Lucios.
but I just liked it.
Hey.
Right.
I love them.
Just throwing that out there.
Bro.
Yeah.
We out here. We're out
if
here
I
with
had
numbers.
if I had to not eat or not talk, forget it. It's over. So, but
right, wait,
but it's
hold
just
up.
different. It was just different.
Hold up. We got something. We got a question in the chat. Here's the question.
Uh-oh.
It says, "Could you sacrifice another child for your own?" She was going to give up the girl
that's
for her
right.
son.
Yeah, she was.
Nah.
can't,
My brain couldn't process that. No way. Like, so I could easily give myself up, right?
Easy
for my child without question. People say that, but then when it comes down to it, maybe they wouldn't. But
Yeah, I think I would, yeah.
I'd be like, we're all gonna go out together. I'm not gonna leave. Like the complication in that was one of those children was not hers, right?
Right.
So she did the right thing. So she was kind of going the bad way. She was kind of saying like, no, you're gonna do it. You're not really mine. But she ended up doing the right thing. Like, screw it. We're just gonna figure it out, right?
Right. What happens?
But no, yeah, I would no. That we're just gonna all go out. We're all going to a better place anyway.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't be able to make a decision on that, man. I mean, like you say, if I had to, if I could take the place of it and give myself up, I would. But to make a decision like that, I would not be able to.
We're all going out. Now, my wife's in the boat. It would be real easy. She would say, Eddie, you're going to look. And she would steer, and it would be cool. It would be all right.
We're going to be okay, guys. Dad's got this.
Yeah. But and there's no guarantee like that I wouldn't be one of the crazy ones that would just be crazy. I think
exactly.
I'd
That's
have
true.
a 50-50 shot either way.
That's true.
Like,
That's
so,
true. That's true. That's right.
Oh,
Um, Danny, you didn't do your homework, so I can't give a number rating on it. But what's your rating on it?
no, I really, really like this movie. I had never seen it before. I had seen it come out
Oh,
um, on Netflix, and I was like, didn't really appeal to me. Oh yeah, because it's scary. Because I don't watch this type of movie. But then I'm like, who's that under the blindfold? Oh, Sandra Bullock, Miss Congeniality. Let's go. I love all the movies that she comes out in. I don't care what Rotten Tomatoes says. I don't care, man. I love Sandra Bullock. I don't know what it stems from. I think it stems from Speed. Is she? She's
yes,
Speed, right?
yes.
I think it stems from Speed. I just love how she's always dirty. Like she's always like dirty or like she's always getting into trouble. She always stuff. And it was a new take for me. Anyway, the whole being blind and
so I have a
go ahead.
no. I was gonna
What do you
say
say?
you finished, but I have a Sandra Bullock story
I'm gonna let you
that I
finish.
want to
Okay.
share. I
Ooh.
forgot about. Yeah.
Yeah, hold on to that. So the uh the whole being blind and having to lead the way she had to lead um as a parent now with two young girls. I'm like feeling her. I'm feeling what she's feeling this whole time. And she has two kids in the boat. And I'm like, what would I do? What would I do? And then whenever they switch the view from like what we see to what's seen behind the blindfold,
Mhm.
I'm like, I can't breathe. I can't. I'm like, how is she chopping this guy in the neck with a blindfold
Yeah,
on?
amazing.
But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the sounds of it, the ending. I was cool. I was cool with all of that, man. I really enjoyed it, Josh. I had it a 4.4.
Good, good. Erica,
So
what's
I've
it
seen that
say?
movie before. I really liked it. I struggle a little bit with like why did some people make it and why did some people kill themselves? What's the difference between those people? How does that happen? It's like Eddie said, is it a 50-50 chance? Do I like see the most amazing thing and I'm like, you know what, that is amazing. I'm gonna go show all my friends. Or do I stab myself in the neck with the scissors? You know, like I don't know.
well, I actually the people that make it that don't
Uh-huh.
kill themselves are considered crazy. They
Yeah.
were mentally not all there.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
why.
yeah.
That's why in the supermarket that the black guy with
yeah,
the
the fish
keys
fingers.
says he says, yeah, that guy's a little bit crazy. Remember, he said,
That's
yeah, that
right.
guy's a
He
little
would
bit
say
crazy.
that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He did say that.
So,
Wow.
so what basically what we're trying to say here, Erica, is that if we're in that situation,
That I'd be fine.
you probably didn't have to walk around with a blindfold. I think you'd be okay.
You'd be like
Well, I'm
Yeah,
one of
here
those.
to
a
show
lot.
you the light,
So
Josh.
a
Okay.
lot of Lucios would make it through, man.
We
We'd
would
be all
make it,
right.
baby. We would
We're
make
kicking
it.
it.
You don't have to wear a
Susan,
mask. You don't have
what's
to
your
wear a
take on that?
blindfold.
What's your
Um,
take on
Yeah.
that?
I liked it. It reminded me a lot of The Happening with Marky Mark.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah,
Mark
that guy.
Wahlberg.
Uh-huh.
Shout out to the Wahlbergs, Donnie and Mark.
Yeah.
No, but
Wall bangers.
I thought it was, I mean, it wasn't scary. It was just suspenseful. It was a thriller. And yeah, those crazies are like probably the creepy part of the movie. But the storyline was really good. I wish that they went into more detail about like what it was like towards the end. Like if they would have like shown a little bit of what they looked like or whatever.
But you know what? I think that's what makes the movie great. It leaves it up to your imagination.
It could be anything.
Yeah, it could be
Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
Right?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Because
Fear and manifest, no?
yeah. So like what's crazy and scary to me might not be crazy and scary to you or anybody else, you know. So I
Right.
think that's
You know, I have a different take on that. I like closure. I like closure. You know, just tell me. Just tell me.
Yeah.
I don't want to like get on the internet. Was that real? Was he dreaming? You know, nah. Just tell me. Just tell me
Yeah.
You're the typical
it was
guy.
the devil or whatever.
You're the
So,
typical guy. I mean, I tell my girl
no,
all the
yeah,
time,
no.
just
I
look,
can't
tell me
think.
what you want.
Don't-
Like I can't read your fucking mind. Tell me what you want.
No, you require me to think. Nah, man. Just give me the
Figure
answer.
it out.
So
Oh, that's
I have a really quick Sandra Bullock story.
Yeah.
So I've met celebrities and I always act a fool. And
You're so
I
cool.
either leave them alone and I don't care, or like I talk to them, I'm badass, right? But I've always loved Sandra Bullock. Like I had a crush on her
Hey-o.
forever. So I met her and she was standing next to me for like 30 minutes and I froze. Like here's a person
my.
that was like on my top 3 like awesome people in the world. I loved her, right? Speed, all those love, gorgeous. Was young and single. She was young and single. Well, who knows where I'd be, right? Nah, my wife's in the next room. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. But I froze, Danny Lucio. Froze.
You passed it to Danny Green.
Yo.
Amazing.
Yeah, you gave up the shot to Danny Green, man. What would Kobe have done, man? What would Kobe
What would
have done,
Kobe-
man?
He would have.
Yeah, he hadn't read the
He
book.
would have
yet.
taken the shot, man. He would have taken the
Okay. Don't pass it to Danny Green.
Mamba mentality.
We're gonna have to get a hold of her so we can have some closure. We're gonna have to get a hold of her.
Hi.
That's right. Do you remember that guy that was like didn't talk to you, just sit there like a creepster?
We're gonna have to invite her on the show, man. Get her on here. Get some closure.
I'll get her. I'll get
I'll
her.
make it happen.
Make some calls.
Oh my god.
All right. So let's get on with the list. That was a great movie, by the way. Great freaking movie. Here's another one, man. And I love this director, man. I love basically everything that he comes out with. Eli Roth, and the movie Hostel came out in 2005. I'm a gore guy, man. I'm a gore guy.
Yes.
So
You are.
we're gonna get right into it again. E3, you gave it a 4. You gave it a 4.
Yeah.
But
it's awesome.
Yeah. You give it a 5 on the gore factor, but you give it a 3 on the acting. The only thing you give it. Everything else was.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I should have given it better on the acting because there's a Latino in that.
Jay
damn movie,
Hernandez,
right?
man.
I love
My
him.
cousin.
Come on, bro. What
Hey,
the hell was I thinking?
Friday Night
Hey, you know
Lights,
what?
baby.
Can I retest? I'm gonna
My
retest.
cousin. That's my cousin, man. Come on, man.
Retest.
cousin.
Circle 70.
So, nah, man. Look, so here's the deal. You have The Shining on the list. So that means everything else is going to get a lesser grade, right?
Yeah.
Once you put The Shining on there, it skewed the whole grading curve
Yeah.
for the rest of the movies.
Yeah.
So I had to like play off that. The Shining to me is a 5 on everything. It's one of the greatest movies ever. Jack Nicholson, amazing, right? So, but nah, dude, The Hostel's also a game changer. Eli Roth, a genius, literally a genius for his genre, one of the best to ever do it. It's a awesome movie. You know, you're rooting for him. It's not disturbing, like you said. I like movies that scare me, but that I could go to sleep. Like movies like The Conjuring, stuff with exorcisms and religion, that messes with my head. So I try to avoid that stuff. So it was a great movie. And what sucks is like the Latino made it. I'm like, yes, and then they kill his ass in part 2. Like immediately, I'm like, why couldn't they give him
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Hey, man.
All right. So after the retest, okay, you went from a 4 to a 4.2.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah,
It ain't gonna make it to the semis, Josh. Sorry.
Danny, what's your take on this?
And that was the first movie I saw this week.
For the
and
challenge.
another one that I hadn't seen before, and I'm like, oh man, I'm like getting into it. It's okay, and then and then little things start to happen. I start to pick up on, and it's kind of like a classic. If you're paying attention, you know what's gonna happen. So, but yeah, I was freaked. I was freaked out, man. And I'm like, oh, the guy's like, well, I think I'm gonna go home early from the bar or whatever. I'm like, no, 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 it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. Um, yeah, I will agree with you, Eddie, on the acting. I would almost put it as, if I'm gonna go on
It's my
Susan's
cousin, man. Come on.
if I'm gonna go like Susan on him. I was gonna give him a 2, man. But
Yes, tell the truth. Tell the
it's
truth.
because, I mean, there's nothing really there for me to be like, wow, that was fantastic acting, bro. So you're good, Eddie.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, I've always liked that kid since Friday Night Lights. He's a middle linebacker, I think, in Friday Night Lights. And so as soon as he came out, I don't know if it was before or after, probably after.
I think
I
he's
was
a
like,
safety
oh, okay,
in Friday Night Lights.
okay.
I think he's a safety.
And so
Just
just
throwing that out there.
the gore of it all, the when he goes into the dressing room accidentally after he escapes, and he links up with the guy who kind of brings, like, because this the whole time you're in the movie you're like, "Ooh," and then this guy comes in, he's like, how the hell's it going? Yeah, what are you here for? What are you getting? And I'm like, oh, okay, I can breathe. And he makes it kind of comical. I really enjoyed that part where it just kind of like threw you off, like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Um, and then of course the way the movie ends, fantastic. But
Yeah.
I liked it, man. I wouldn't. I'd say maybe 3.8. Um, I wouldn't give it a 4, but
That's fair.
yeah,
I think that's fair.
it was
That's good. That's good.
All right,
it was a good one for me.
Susan, let's get your take on this.
It's like what Danny was saying, like the story, like the acting, yeah, wasn't good. I think like the best acting that was in there were those kids throwing rocks. The little short kid that was like in charge of the group was like, "Hey, where's my money at? Where are you gonna pay me so we don't beat you up?" Like
Bubblegum.
yeah,
Yeah, bubblegum.
yeah, that one. But yeah, it's just like you were saying, Danny. Like if you pay attention, you know what's gonna happen, and it's just like don't go. Like when they started off going off by themselves and they started disappearing, I was like,
Every time.
don't ever go away. Like, and the only way that guy, Jay Hernandez, like when he survived is because he fell asleep in the wrong room. Like he was in the alcohol room.
Yeah, by accident.
Yeah.
By
You
accident.
got locked in dry storage.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I'm with Danny on this, like 3.8.
All right, Erika, you?
Well, I thought it was good. I actually expected more gore because as soon as it starts to get gory, they like pan away.
That's my girl.
You know,
That's my girl.
like they just pan away from it. They don't really show you what's happening. Oh my god, he's just gonna sit on me. And I was glad that there was a storyline. I thought that so when you see the credits at the beginning, it says starring Jay Hernandez, and then it has everyone else's name. So then I knew he was going to make it to the end. But I actually thought that the white guy, the second guy to die, was going to make it to the end. I thought he was going to be the main character, just the way the acting was going. He was a little bit better of an actor. So I thought he was going to make it, but yeah, he obviously didn't. And I didn't see the girl with the eye. I didn't see that happening. I didn't see her like sacrificing herself that way to let Jay Hernandez live. And I did turn to Susan and tell her that I would do that if I found her killer. So there's that.
Yeah.
So you are Batman and Batman.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Hey, I forgot. You know what part I forgot that I really liked when they were driving away before they get to the train station, and that van's in the way, and I'm like, oh, dude, get move, and it moves, and all three of those people are standing in the middle of the street, and I'm like, hit the gas.
Dude,
Yeah.
yes. What a great kill.
So you know what makes this movie disturbing to me is that it's story, man. It's human trafficking, man, and we see this. We see a different point of view when we see movies like Taken, where we
Mhm.
see that the dad's trying to daughter, but we never see the daughter's point of view on it. And this would be like the daughter's point, but like the
Right.
graphic version of it. And that's the
Right.
scary part of it, man. Like the fact that this shit happens, you know, like fuck, man.
Yeah.
That's what's scary. That's to me is like go to sleep at night. I start thinking all this, you know.
Yeah.
I was in Austin this past week just for the day, and there's stickers all over Austin. Like they just have stickers on poles and just on mailboxes and everywhere.
Did they have the dog? Did you see the
No,
dog?
I was looking for it, man. I was looking for the little dog. I was like, someone should make those and just like put them around.
Imagine if you see that. Imagine if you see that.
That was so scary.
That is funny.
All right, let's go on to the last one. The last one's a classic, man, and it was a bonus if you had enough time you to watch it, and or if you haven't already seen it already. And the last one was The Shining. Great, great flick, man. All right, so we're gonna start off with E3. You gave it a 5 down the pipe, man. Perfect movie.
It's as close to I mean, look, it's generational, right?
Mhm.
Like, I don't know if my grandkids are gonna watch Scream. I doubt it, right?
Yeah.
There's probably a good chance they watch The Shining. You know, Shining
Yeah.
was made before I was born. I've seen it. You know, they teach it in film school. You know, even though it's a horror movie, I'm sure it's got a legendary actor. I mean, it's got suspense. It's got psychological. It's got a little bit of gore with the blood and the
Right.
kind of decrepit woman. It touches on all. I mean, it's a really amazing movie. And when you have a Hall of Fame actor like Jack in that movie,
Shout out to Jack and the
I
Lakers.
mean, I don't know what. Right. And he's a Laker fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's just I remember watching it as a kid and being in a trance, like being so scared, like I'd probably piss my pants, maybe.
Yeah.
Like I was like out of body. I was almost like the little kid, when he's having that episode. Like that movie could do that to you at a certain time in your life.
Yeah.
And maybe now we're a little desensitized because of the like craziness and aided with horror movies now that it might be a little slow, but if you really, really, really look at it for when it was made,
Right.
The point behind its setup, every scene, what it leads to, the themes, there's underlying themes, right? Like a movie like Hostel, there's a little bit of human trafficking themes, but that's about as deep as you're going to get with Hostel. Sixth Sense, though, The Shining, now you're talking about movies that kind of will go down as being able to be generational. So The Shining to me is just it's a great movie. Now it's not a movie that I'm gonna watch a bunch, right? Like I'll watch Scream
Exactly.
because it's kind of fun to watch, right?
Exactly.
But I'm not gonna watch The Shining. Like I have that much. That movie like takes shit out of you. But it's phenomenal, right? I'm also not gonna watch like Braveheart a bunch of times.
Yeah.
True.
Emotionally.
So,
Yeah.
Draining. Yeah, that's true.
This movie is another one that has that whole scene where he's like, here's, when he breaks through the door.
Here's Jack and his head's
The Simpsons had a take on that. I think there's a new Mountain Dew commercial that came out with the guy from Breaking Bad, and he comes out and he does that whole scene. And like you say, man, this is one of those quotes that everybody knows of or has heard or something, and it's something you see. There's actually two bands, Slipknot and 30 Seconds to Mars. One of their earlier videos in their career was a remake of this movie. So I mean, just by
Yeah,
that in itself, man, that just says how influential this movie was.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Ready Player One. Have you seen
Oh
Ready
yeah, Ready
Player
Player
One?
One. Yeah,
Yeah,
Ready
yeah.
Player One. Yeah, exactly. You're right, man. So this is almost like it's already hit pop culture already. You know, like everybody's heard of The Shining, and that's that famous scene, man, where he finally just loses it. You know,
Yeah.
Danny, what's your rating on it, Danny?
This this was like another movie that I had seen in pieces. Okay, you already know where I stand, and I'm like, no, man, just watch the whole damn thing. Just do it. Okay, so just two things make this movie for me. I had seen a movie, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Of course, that movie showed me all of Jack's colors, like all it. He, I mean, he was phenomenal. So I'd seen that movie a couple times. I know it pretty well. I love that movie. So when I come into this one, and now I'm seeing how he's like he's scary. Like he pulled like that Harrison Ford thing that we had been talking about earlier, um, bipolar, whatever you want to call it, and he was just
With the switch.
it's just amazing, and that also the what's the name of the female lead, Shelley Duvall. There's just
Olive
something
oil
about
and
her.
Popeye.
Yes.
Olive oil. I was about to say that. Olive oil.
Yeah, good job. There's something about her, and she also has an incredible body of work. A lot of movies. She's coming on a lot of stuff. Something about her character kind of reminds me of the like in all the Rocky movies, like Adrian,
Adrian.
she reminds me of that type of character,
Mhm.
and it's just she's like frightened the whole time, and you're frightened, it's just scared. You're just as scared as she is. It's a classic.
You,
It's
you, you know what's funny though, Danny? I
mm,
always got annoyed. To me, she's a wada in that movie. You know, she's just kind of like a
yeah.
wet noodle. Like, hey man, like toughen up a little bit. Like, do one push up
He's
and
like,
go try to save your
Yeah.
kid. Like that
But
movie.
the thing
If
is,
my wife were in that movie would last 5 minutes. I would have gotten my ass whooped and like shut
Facts.
up,
you're
and she
right.
would have
Facts.
You're
slapped the
right.
crazy out of me.
a wet noodle.
Facts.
You're right. You're right. But
Wet
We
noodle.
that's remember we said we're paying attention to the times of the movie. She didn't go. She didn't have Orange Theory, bro. She didn't have Orange Theory. Hey,
My
your wife
wife
has
would
Orange
have
Theory.
we actually have
she would have put my
we have someone in the chat that says, do you all think it's something supernatural happening in that movie, or is he just going crazy?
Ooh.
no. It's supernatural for sure. Yeah,
I think
that place is haunted.
I think the supernatural turns him crazy. So I think it's a little bit of both,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. But I think it's also a little bit of like cabin fever, man. Right?
Mhm.
Right?
I can
They're
definitely
stuck
see
they're
that.
stuck in this
Absolutely.
place. And I mean, we've seen it plenty of times, and it happens. People when people, and I'm surprised it hasn't happened to me in this pandemic, man. You know, when you're
Who
locked
says
up
it has?
for so long in one area, you know, and then yay, who knows?
I'm,
Maybe I am crazy. I don't know.
I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask
Hey,
your old lady how you been behaving, bro.
hey, Susan, blink twice if you're in trouble, okay?
Hey.
Seriously, tell us, talk to us.
Susan and Erica, talk to us about The Shining. Tell us your take on that. Did you
Go
all get a
ahead,
chance
girls. Go
to
ahead.
see it?
We didn't get to re-see it, but we've both seen it already. But go ahead.
It's a great movie. It like still scary. Like I still go like this when I watch it. Yeah, it is. The part that scares me the most is when he's like the little boy's riding his bike and like it turns the corners and he sees those two little girls.
The Siamese twins or the twins?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the little twins, and they're like, "Come play with us, come play with us." And so in our apartment that we live in now, our elevator goes like it curves like that, like it goes into like a U like that.
So
It's
do
like,
you have that?
Every time I go around the corner and I go to my door, I keep thinking that I'm gonna see like something right there right in front of my door.
Long hallway, everything.
Yeah.
Don't be
You ever red
surprised.
tricycle?
Don't be
Like
surprised.
one for Christmas.
No, but it's a good movie. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and like the whole time when he was writing his story, I thought it was gonna be like something great, right? And it just comes out to be like that sentence: "All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy." Like what? Like the whole time he was typing, like "Leave me alone, let me do my work," and that's all he was writing. And I was like, "Oh my god!" Like cabin fever is for real, and it's scary, and like this bad shit can happen. And so it was
Writer's block is for real.
right.
But that place had some kind of energy around it. I mean, already.
Yeah.
So I mean, throw that into the mix.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna go fucking nuts.
Right.
Unless you're Erica, then it's kind of like normal.
But I'm fine.
Erica, what's your take on it, man?
I'm pretty sure that my dad showed me this movie. Speaking of dads showing scary movies,
Mr. Martinez.
And
Yeah,
you were probably like
and
5.
dad, that's absolutely right. They
You're
showed us
right.
this movie. I'll never forget it. So my dad's best friend has kids that are our age. My best friend is my age. We all grew up together, and our dad sat us down and showed us this movie. And I think the worst part for me was the maze, because that is
yeah.
real. Like you
labyrinth.
get lost as fuck in this maze right now. Like that's real. That's what this was.
Yeah, you're right.
Scary.
You're right.
Everyone doesn't want to go
Yeah,
to the
that's right.
I won't do the corn maze. I mean, I just not my thing.
No. I won't do the core maze for that exact reason. Because I know if I go in there, I'm gonna get killed by Jack. It happens. It's gonna be a crazy news story. Like random brown dude in the valley gets killed by legendary star Jack Nicholson.
It's funny.
That pressure.
It's
and my
funny you
family
guys say
doesn't
that.
even remember me like that.
It's funny y'all say that. In the chat, it says the same person that asked about the whole supernatural thing, or is he going crazy? It says the reason I bring it up is because it reminds me of Pan's Labyrinth. If the girl in Pan's Labyrinth is going crazy, or is it supernatural? Now he's talking about the Pan's Labyrinth. Okay, so that's a different movie.
The scary guy.
So here's what I tell you about Pan's Labyrinth. I'm not smart enough to know anything what that movie's doing. Like I'm just not smart enough. Like I just like know my limits. I know my limits. Like don't give me Shakespeare to read. I don't know what's happening in Shakespeare. I don't know what's happening in Pan's Labyrinth.
I love this guy, Daddy. Hey, we're the same.
I told you. You're welcome again for the third week in a row.
Damn, that's tough. All right, man. So we've already rated all the movies. Now we gotta make the challenge for the next week. So we're gonna each give our take, and we're gonna have 5 movies this week. So there's 5 of us on the panel today. So we're gonna have 5 movies. So we're gonna start off with Danny. I think Danny's ready for his take.
Okay,
his
so
movie.
something came to me the other
And
day.
I love it, Danny. I love it. I love your fucking pick. Yes, bro.
Okay,
Yes.
there's something about this movie, and I hadn't thought about it in a while. And then I saw somebody pick up. I don't know what I was watching. I'm watching TV, and I saw somebody talking to a CB. And I was like, "Oh my god, there's a movie like that," and it scared the bejesus out of me.
Did you say
And
the
so
word?
I googled it.
You want me to say it?
Go ahead.
Candy cane.
Yeah, Rusty Nail.
Joyride.
This is Rusty Nail.
Joyride.
Candy cane. Come in.
Oh, and I'm like, so I looked it up, and I found the trailer. I watched the trailer, and I'm freaked out. I'm like, this has to be my movie this week. So mine's Joyride.
Nice. Good pick.
Dude,
Great
you
pick.
know what? That movie always scared the fuck out of me, bro.
Yes.
His voice. Dude, every once in a while,
No.
you guys know me, man. Every once in a while I'll get online and play like some Call of Duty stuff. And some of the guys I play with, man, have that voice, and it sounds like they're on a CB radio, and it's like Candy cane. You know, like, damn, bro, that shit's. I tell him, bro, I like, dude, don't talk to me, man. You're scary. That's
Okay, so the reason that was so scary is because we used to travel a lot when we were kids in like
Yes.
vans, like with our
Like
friends.
caravans.
We were in one van and they were in another van, and our parents had CB radios, and we would use them to
Yes.
communicate to the other van, and then you get the truckers interference, and you pass the truckers, and you're like,
That's
"Oh,
right.
this is so fun." Actually, it's a murderer. Like,
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward
Dude,
to seeing that.
I love that movie. Paul Walker, bro. Oh my
yes.
I love
Rest in
that
peace.
movie. Great pick, bro. Great pick. All right, who's ready for theirs? If you guys want, I can go with mine. Are y'all ready?
I have one.
Okay, Susan's ready.
I've been thinking about because like it also scared me. It's another M. Night Shyamalan movie. I guess I'm a fan of his because when this movie came out, I like kind of got scared. Like when I saw the previews and then when I saw the movie, I was like, oh wow, what a great twist! Like I understand why this movie's made this way. The Village. I thought that one was really good.
What I thought you were gonna say.
No, I loved that movie, and yeah, that's my pick for this week because this one
The
that's
Village. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have not seen it, so that's gonna be
Neither
good.
have
That's gonna be good. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be good.
Get your popcorn ready, baby.
Get your popcorn ready. Terrell Owens. Little quote from Terrell Owens.
Shout out Terrell.
But we're gonna talk about the San Francisco Terrell, right?
Nah.
Not the
just the
Dallas.
one.
Ah, come on. All right,
That's
Erika,
where the
what's your
first
pick?
one come from.
What's your pick?
Who else?
Have you already done Scream?
No.
We
No?
have not added that to the challenge yet.
I'd like to add it because I remember the first time seeing it. We had just moved into our house on Lakeway, which Eddie's sister lives in now.
Shout out to Lake Way.
Shout out Lakeway. So I had to sleep in my sister's room probably for a week after I saw that movie. I was in like 6th grade, but my sister had this giant window that took up like half the wall, and I kept having dreams that guy was just busting through that window ready to kill us. But
That's
so
dude, that's a fun movie to watch. Just like you said, E3. Man. I can watch Scream every time it's playing on cable TV. I'll watch. I watch
Absolutely.
that bad boy, man.
and I need those commercial breaks.
Yeah.
All right.
So I got
All right.
one. I got
All
one.
right, go for it. Go. Do it.
American Psycho.
Ooh.
Oh, I love that movie, bro.
That's a really good
I just
one.
seen that like a few weeks ago, man.
It's been a long
There's
time.
a
I don't remember anything.
lot
That's,
to dissect with that one.
Christian Bale? Christian
Yes.
Christian Bale.
Bale?
Lot to
young
dissect there.
Christian Bale. That's right.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, he was.
Christian
Man,
Bale.
good pick.
Batman. You picked Batman.
Yeah.
Batman.
Who's there? Who's
All right.
there with you? Is Jamie still there with you? Is she done? Is she?
Jamie.
Jamie? Like Jamie Lee
I'm like
Curtis?
Grandpa. I'm like Grandpa.
Jamie Lee Curtis?
Grandpa. Yeah.
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 They asked if you were still here with me. So
All right.
yeah, so she's
I want to
You know what?
Hey.
I'm feeling crazy tonight, man. I'm feeling crazy this week. Let's get a pick from the
Yeah.
wife. Let's get a pick from the wife.
Hey,
Let's get a
Yeah.
pick.
Pick a movie
so
for us.
pick a scary movie that you want them to talk about next week.
We're gonna add it to the challenge.
Don't worry about which
I haven't
ones
been
they've
listening-
seen
yeah.
or not seen. Just
or,
pick
or
one.
what you
Matter.
already talked about.
Because she's
haven't heard
really
it all.
she'd be a much better guest than me.
You-
You
but
probably
anyway.
mentioned all the ones we talked about.
No, just pick one. Think about one that maybe scared you as a kid.
I mean, I heard you talk about The Conjuring. That one was.
Yeah.
So the other
Yes,
one
yeah.
that was disturbing, I don't know if it's a horror movie, but was The Strangers. Did y'all talk about that? one?
Oh, that was my pick, dude. I swear to God, that was my pick. Look.
That
let me show
one.
you.
That one.
Hold on.
That one
That
messed
was my
me
pick.
up.
That's an excellent
Yeah.
one.
That was my
So I remember when we saw that at the movie theater, and
Yep.
all we did on the way home was talk about all the stuff we would have done to those people. You know, what would we have if they came in our house? No, we would have done this, and we would have that
Yeah.
never would have happened to us because we had this plan. And so, but we talked about it for like a week.
Look at that. He froze. That's
Dude.
hilarious. I got
dude. That was my pick. I
So-
swear to God. I swear to God, that was my pick. Huh?
That conversation on the way home scared me.
Boom.
And,
That was
and I
on
was
my
like,
phone,
cool,
guys.
cool. Like I got someone who will protect me, but she also scared me a little bit. So I kind of was like, oh, chingados. Like
I'm so glad
I was
someone has a
worried who I
plan
was
in that
sleeping
house.
Am I back?
with. Yeah.
Am I still frozen? Am I back?
All right. So that's
Yeah,
it,
and
man.
it's a-
We got the 5 picks. We have the 5 picks, guys. We have
Love
the
it.
5 picks. So Danny, go ahead, because that was my pick. I that's what I was thinking all
Awesome.
week.
We're there.
That's
we're
what
there.
I was thinking all week. So hey,
Man.
Danny, name the
Eddie-
movies right now and put it on the challenge, man.
Okay,
What
right
are
now
the movies?
the movies are Joyride,
Joyride,
The Village,
The Village,
Scream,
Scream,
what Eddie, what was yours?
American Psycho.
American
American
Psycho,
Psycho.
man. Come on. And
And
The
then
Strangers, because that was my pick. I was thinking about
Strangers.
that all fucking week, bro. The Strangers is scary as fuck.
Here, she's
Oh
like,
my
not scary.
goodness. Hey, welcome to the
Hey.
family. Guys. Welcome to the family. You're honorary
Yes.
Lucio, bro. Honorary.
Yeah, dude. Honor. Yeah. Hey. All right, guys. Well, that was all we had for this week, man. We had a great time. Appreciate Eddie and his wife
Jamie.
for joining us on this Saturday night, and also Erika and Susan. Thank you for those of you that are hanging out on the live stream for the Weekend Warriors podcast project. All right. Make sure you tune in next Saturday, guys. And you can
Watch
find us
those
on
movies.
YouTube. You can find us on YouTube. We're gonna upload the challenge on Facebook, guys, and we're looking to expand. So hopefully in the next few weeks we'll be streaming on multiple platforms, guys. So
Awesome.
appreciate you
Thank
guys
Primo.
tuning in, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Take care, guys. Great to see you. All right, man.